Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about another dangerous terrorist, classic age of Trump situation who is reacting to all the sort of fires lit by Trump and the Republicans and being hugely threatening in vile terms to a particular FBI agent. There's a criminal complaint. A quick aside: how do you charge somebody when you know they've committed a crime? Typically, you'll develop evidence in a grand jury and go through it all. The grand jury will vote. You'll bring up a sealed indictment to a judge. But if you want to move really fast, or and there are other procedural advantages as well, you prepare a criminal complaint, and the complaint is filed by an FBI agent. Here is my complaint, and here's my affidavit setting out the facts. And that is authority enough to do the arrest, although then there'll be an arraignment and, a question whether to hold and on what terms. But so this is an obvious situation for a criminal complaint. So the defendant is Timothy Mueller, who is arrested outside his home in Fort Worth. 43-year-old guy, probably fits the profile of these different lone actors who are such a problem. It takes a lot to go from regular rhetoric to this, and a lot more to go from this, as I'm going to detail, to shooting. But it happens. We saw, for example, after a Trump tirade, a lone wolf going in and shooting up an FBI bureau in Cincinnati. And obviously this is one dangerous dude who has been arrested. He has targeted an agent who's identified only by initials, but it seems pretty clear we know his name, the agent's name, and he's someone who worked on the Hunter Biden laptop and investigation. So it's all part of that crazy, conspiracy brew on the, I want to say the MAGA right, but it's really the terrorist. It's a domestic terrorist. So this guy, the agent, worked out of Baltimore as supervising on the Biden investigation, and Mueller does a quick call and then an minute plus unbelievably vile, threatening phone call, followed by 3 vile, threatening texts. So honest to God, what I'm going to say is among the tamer quotes from the criminal complaint, but they also help illustrate what this guy's deranged beef was. So you can steal another election, says Mueller to the agent, and the guns will come out and will hunt you sea suckers down and slaughter you like the traitorous dogs you are. The last thing you'll ever hear are the horrified shrieks of your widow and orphan. You're going to jail if you're lucky, but I suspect you won't be. These guys always turn out, this is an aside, and, but basically to be, pitiful figures living in basement apartments or whatever with these ridiculous delusions of grandeur and wanting to be these ultra tough masters of the universe guys. That this has to be part of the basic dynamic of the Trump appeal. Anyway, there is a lot more to it. There's a complaint online, but it goes on for over a minute in that fashion, and then from there, it actually there are several text messages. So, well, here I'll find a little bit more. So we're going to slaughter your whole fucking family, you fucking pedophile. It's like that now. So choose jail or getting strung up and lynched like the fucking traitor you are. That's what happens when you cover up for fucking pedophiles, you piece of fucking shit. So this guy sounds like part of the sort of Pizzagate conspiracy. Do we even remember that back there? Went out of thin air. Like basically the Hillary campaign was a cover for pedophiles run out of a particular pizza parlor. Just, absolute deluded insanity. All right. And then the guy sends follow-up text messages. You're going to jail. How's this one? How's the family? Safe? And we want you so bad we can fucking taste it. And then, did you really think you were going to disenfranchise 75 million Americans and not die? So all caught up in this, this deluded, psychotic, web of lies that originates in Trump's mouth and then disseminates to any manner of lone actor. This happens the same day, and it's reported together with a Merrick Garland op-ed in the Washington Post. Garland stays very far away from specific any kind of statements on investigations, particular cases normally. But this has been alarming enough to cause him to enter the fray and detail how dangerous this is, and presumably to influence public sentiment. So people understand the gravity here and the dangers that essentially Trump is imposing daily on federal law enforcement. And this started with Garland's pushing back hard on the crazy ass notion from Trump that the search of Mar-a-Lago was done with deadly force, and that the whole point was Joe Biden wanting to put out a hit and kill Donald Trump. So that kind of crazy stuff. You heard him talking about sharks and batteries yesterday, but when it's in this fashion, it all gets, it comes out twisted, then it gets quadruple twisted in individual lone actors' minds. And then there's, this is more than stray aggressive language. This is really, the agent in question, Baltimore, I'm sure now has special protection, all kinds of fear for his life. But now that this guy has been arrested, and we don't know, but he strikes me very much as the sort of lone actor type. So now he's incapacitated, presumably. We're looking at probably 10 years or so. I mean, these kinds of threats are serious against federal law enforcement personnel. I had milder versions of them when I was U.S. attorney, but there are special statutes about these kinds of threats. And so, he is, in addition to crazy, he is not risk averse, because, well, what else was he thinking, Timothy Mueller? But they were going to find him and put him in jail promptly, and that's what's happened. So he'll face trial, but I think it'll be open and shut, and probably a plea and maybe some mental status defense or whatever. But the bottom line here, besides, is the individual vileness of what's going on, the actual threat and fear to individual FBI agents, and just the whole thing of this is the, one or two steps removed from the vile and knowingly false rhetoric that Trump is just spewing all over the country. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.